All I have to say is if you make it to the championship game against Brendan, please smack the crap out of him.
So we're on, and I just want to add on to that. I think Brendan is becoming a very polarizing person in this
Just
league.
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna start. We didn't broadcast last week, so it's been 2 weeks. So we haven't talked playoffs at all yet, even though we're down to the final four, which we have two of the final four on the broadcast, and they are playing each other this week.
Hello.
That was James. Yep. Um,
And Justine takes this casual swig of her beer. Very nice.
just so
And another swig. Thank you.
Just going back, taking a quick look at last week. Not really. Well, at least with my game against Brendan, that to me that wasn't a surprise. I don't know what you guys think of this, but Glenn sent me a text on Sunday criticizing me for not playing Bilal Powell last Sunday, which I found very confusing because I did not know Matt Forte was going to get hurt in the first 3 minutes of the Jets game.
True.
I'm not, a freaking fortune teller. But all that aside, I got pounded. I expected to get pounded. My entire team was injured at the end of the season, and I kind of ran out of options as far as what to do with my lineup. And Brendan's team ended up with a half decent day. James, you won big last week for your first playoff win in forever. And a lot of it had to do with the Falcons' defense, and John certainly helped you out. His team just fell flat last week.
Yeah.
He didn't get any help. Dante Moncrief, I know, put up a 0 because he got a hamstring injury early in the Colts game.
And Phillip Rivers didn't help either.
No, Rivers had 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
So
I'll be honest. I kind of just thought he was going to get it, but Falcons D had a good day and I lucked out. But John Davis, if you're listening to this, hell of a season.
Also didn't help. Mike Evans was his big player all season, and Evans was very ordinary last week as well. He just didn't have anything go right. And it's funny because if he advanced, he would have gotten Adrian Peterson back this week, which stings.
Yeah.
That could have been really, and that's why I thought John, if he got past last week, he had a shot. If Peterson were to come back and play, very well, he would have had a shot. But it didn't happen. So now instead we're stuck with. Well, we're not really stuck with anything. We have the top 4 teams in the regular season are all still alive, which is, I guess, fine.
What? Are you kidding me? Sorry, I'm watching the Stag Bowl. Mary Harden just had like a 60-yard bomb.
Telling you, Mary Harden's going to win big, but I don't know what the score is right now.
We'll see. It's still 10-7, but I was impressed. Anywho, sorry, continue.
So you look at this week we have Brendan's moved on. He's playing Joe this week. James, and as I said, James is playing Justine. The possibility of Brendan and his team Trump in a championship game kind of scares me. Just because I think the fantasy football universe may explode if that happens. It's a little I don't know what I'll do, and the fact that I don't know, part of me it's scary, and then part of me wants to see him get there just because he'll either play Justine, who I know wants to beat him very badly, or James, and we already know Brendan versus James, what that would mean.
Wait, what would that mean?
I don't know. I don't know. Two of you may kill each other before the game's even over. So it's going to.
Thank God I don't have Facebook.
let's put it this way. You two are playing in the championship for next Friday's video. You two may ruin everybody's Christmas.
Mike,
You
Mike,
just might
Mike, this is my Christmas gift to you. If we, assuming I beat Justine, which I'm very skeptical about, if Brendan and I are in the championship game, I will not be on that chat.
All right.
That would be my Christmas gift to you.
I don't know if anybody else has watched the whole. I don't think anybody's watched the debacle from last time when you were both on. But wow, that was really interesting in my opinion. I will say Brendan's been losing a lot in the free agent things. I beat him with the Lions defense last week, and this week he misses on Ken Farrow by $1. I guess you can point to Joe. Joe with all that money he had saved up, but even though he only bid $10.
And nothing wrong with that. Joe just played smart this year.
Well, I mean, it helped that he didn't have to change his lineup for the first 8 weeks of the season.
That's true too.
So yeah, we're gonna try and we can take a little longer with these since we're only doing 2. I hope you know, Larry, we're not talking about your team at all, right?
I know.
We don't do consolation games.
Fuck that.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm the leader of the toilet bowls.
You're not even paying it. You're not even updating your team anymore. So what does it matter?
I updated it last week.
No, did you?
I put in my boy Crowell.
Mike, just your tone right there was hilarious. Oh, did you?
Fuck you. It's not my fault that Forte got hurt.
Well, yeah, that's true. You still.
Oh yeah, that also screwed Larry over. Wow.
He still scored what? Larry's team still. That's even more sad that he updated his team and his team scored 70 points. So.
Yeah, Crowell. Des got 0.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, he had the whole one catch and then he fumbled on that one catch thing. Yeah, I forgot about that. So, back to the real games. Brendan's playing Joe this week. I know who I shouldn't say that. I don't know who I want to win here because at the same time, you know how critical I have been of Joe's team, which is probably a bit unfair because he does have a really good team. Joe entered the week favored by 3, and then, of course, Brendan's luck struck again, and Jimmy Graham didn't do anything last night. He only got 4 points, I believe, because I believe Joe got 6 from Hauschka, and he's leading the team right now. So at his kicker, Joe got more points from his kicker than his top tight end, which is never a good sign. So now Brendan's favored to win. I've been picking against Brendan the entire season, and seemingly every game I'm wrong. I can't see Brendan winning this, but how many times have all of us said that?
Except for me.
All season. What's that?
Except for me. Upset alert.
Oh.
You only vote for him just to be an ass.
Doesn't matter. I'm still winning. You know what? Next year we should keep track of these votings to see who's the best picker.
We should also keep track of how many beers we drink during this chat.
I know Larry does.
Larry, how many are you on?
A glass of wine.
You're too sophisticated for me.
Yeah, we're classy tonight.
Look at Justine pounding a beer, no problem.
It's
Jeez. You guys are great.
So I'm just going to throw out the argument for Brendan this week. For starters, his wide receivers are better than Joe's. That's probably the one position where he definitely has Joe beat, other than tight end, which this week he'll probably have him beat a tight end. But wide receiver, Antonio Brown and T.Y. Hilton should put up decent numbers as a combo. I like the defensively. Joe, I understand Joe's played the Broncos defense every game this year, but going against New England and still playing them is a bad idea. It's a really bad idea. We don't know exactly. Do we know exactly how San Diego's going with the running backs?
Right now, to my knowledge, it's Pharaoh and just Pharaoh, but
As I know, I saw Monique. I think it was Mo picked up Ronnie Hillman.
I mean,
just because apparently.
I don't think they have 100% trust in him, but I think they have a little bit more stock in Pharaoh than they do Hillman.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion, but
yeah. Well, you don't know what you're going to get out of Pharaoh, really.
True.
And LeGarrette Blount has a very difficult matchup against Denver. There's warning signs there. With that said, on the flip side, Brandon has Tom Brady going against the Broncos defense in Denver, which isn't a great matchup for him. And I think you even mentioned this a few weeks ago after you traded Brady, James.
Mm-hmm.
The whole matchup thing. So I'm going to pick Joe. Really, I'd rather see Joe win. I know Joe's been to a championship a couple of years ago, but it would be nice to see him get back, especially after Joe in the last 2 years ago, his team just fell hard in the championship. James, you can go ahead.
For me, it's really tough. Man, I'm just going to say it's a coin flip. My head says Brendan, my heart says Viper. So I'm just going to say it's a coin flip.
Well, that's not fun.
I'm channeling
no ties in the playoffs. So
Mike, I'm sorry. I'm channeling my inner Belichick right now.
Are you just saying that because just in case you win, you gotta play one of these guys next week?
No, look at my hood.
Okay.
I'm channeling my inner Belichick.
All right, Larry. You don't have a horse in this race, so can you? I know you'll.
Technically, he does
have the balls to make a prediction.
Well, he does technically have a horse in this race.
Technically, he does, but
come on, Mike. Be politically correct.
All right. Well, she's not playing in this game, so.
You know what? You can ride and die with the lucky bullshit.
Oh my god.
Channeling my inner essence of the whatever championship I won, where CJ Spiller got that weird designation that allowed me to destroy Glenn. I was saying that Brendan's gonna win with some weird lucky bullshit from my boy Mike Gillisley.
You know something. Two things with that. One, I was actually thinking of your team, that was actually 2011. I remember this vividly, and that was actually, I believe, the last time Christmas fell on a Sunday too. And I remember, George, you clinched it that night, Christmas night. You clinched the championship over Glenn, and yeah. So I was just thinking, Christmas is coming up. It's like the 5-year anniversary of your lucky bullshit championship.
Yeah, well,
Mike, you're right.
It's Brendan's turn to make it to the championship and not win it.
So
Mike, you're right. There's too many similarities. I'm having a beer right now because
there really is, and not only that, but I'm pretty sure, at least in my opinion, out of all the teams that have won a championship, the 8 previous champions, yours has only been up to this point the really lucky bullshit one, Larry. The only one. I mean, that team had no business. You shouldn't even make the playoffs.
Hey, my name is on the trophy.
Your name's on the trophy, I know, even though I believe I got the trophy the year after that. So
yeah, you did. I was pissed.
Yeah. So you have to win it again. So
I know. I want to.
But yeah, I mean, it's the other thing was I looked at Mike Gillisley and I look at him playing the Browns, and it's just
It's crazy
Well-
enough to work. That's the great part.
Well-
of
I
it.
know. It
Well,
might.
hold on. That Browns front four is pretty good. So
Jeremy Hill only ran for 120 yards last week.
you're right, but that's Jeremy frickin' Hill. He's one of the better
No, he's
running
not.
back.
No, he's not.
One of
No,
the
he's
better
not.
running backs in the NFL, Mike.
No, he's not. The only reason he's even getting as many touches as he does is because Bernard's out for the year.
Jeremy Hill or Mike Gilsley?
Jeremy Hill, but that's different though. They're day and night. Jeremy Hill is like a freaking boulder.
Yeah, but you just proved my point. Jeremy Hill's the more talented back that you want.
Right, but Mike Gillisley, he's one of these guys that like pulls out these big ass like 60-yard runs. And
Yeah.
you just got the feeling that like
Against
all he
San
needs is one of those.
Francisco- Against San Francisco, he got 12 points. Against New England, he had 17. Seattle, 11. Oakland, 16.
There's a reason why he's 39th in running back scoring.
Yeah, he can do it.
Yeah,
Or he can do
it's
nothing.
yeah, it's kind of like Brendan's.
Yeah, like Brendan's team.
Boomer
He can
bust.
do it, or he can do nothing.
All I'm saying is when you have a wounded animal like the Browns, you never know what's going to happen. That's all I'm going to say.
Only thing
And- Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want the Browns to go 0-16, just cause.
Why?
It's
Why would
funny. It's funny.
No, it's not.
It's
It's not the
hilarious.
Detroit Lions.
Hilarious.
Actually, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. The Lions one was pretty funny too. It's the same thing.
No. The
Like the
Lions
bag.
was funny. For the Browns, it's sad for everything that city's been through. Come on.
Whoa.
The championship.
They won an NBA championship this year, and they went
All
to
right,
the Game
sure.
7 of the World Series. They haven't
Right.
gone through crap this year. That's it.
This year. But let's look at the other 50 years.
I don't care.
50. They won. When did they win their last?
Mike's inner Philly fan is coming out now.
It's been more than 50 years since they won an NFL championship now.
They haven't even won in the Super Bowl era.
No, the last one was in 64, I believe.
Mike, all I'm saying is I'm talking more about the franchise than I am the city. I know I said city in the beginning, but that franchise
My
deserves
boys,
better.
Terrell Pryor and Isaiah Crowell. They'll be good next year.
Well, who the hell knows? Because the Browns are going to be idiots and fire Hugh Jackson anyway.
I think they are absolutely retarded if they do that.
Oh, I agree, but they probably will if he goes 0-16 because he didn't win any games.
Well, but he also had to start a third-string quarterback for like half the season, something like that.
No. If the Browns are smart, they don't win any games because if they win a game, they're in danger of blowing the first pick because San Francisco is 1-12 or whatever right now. So
San Fran will win another game. The Browns. Anywho,
well, that's another discussion. I didn't let Justine pick. I don't think so. Sorry, Justine, you can go ahead.
No, thank you.
Isn't it? It's supposed to be ladies first, Mike. Come on.
I know.
I know.
But then again, I am a lady.
What gives? I'm gonna tell Pam. Okay. So this sucks because because I so desperately want to root for Joe, and I'm still gonna root for Joe. However,
fuck you, Larry.
well, fuck you, Larry. Let me
Yeah,
finish.
thank you, Justine.
So I do want my cider. You can still bring me my cider. Okay, so I want Joe to win. However, like you said, Brendan kind of has him on the wide receiver front. My husband, I swear.
Oh my god.
And I do kind of worry about Joe's running backs because that's where normally he would have an edge over Brendan. But
Right.
you know, Marco Murray going up against. So that kind of has me a little concerned. And then I feel like Tom Brady at Denver is going to be probably a little bit better than Breeze at Arizona. So I think Brendan's going to win, but I'm going to root for Joe. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, we all know what's going to happen if Brendan wins.
I'm going
This
to
is the thing. Well, this is the thing. Brendan, believe it or not, Brendan has not won a single dollar in this league still. He's been in this league since 2010. Even at this point, Justine won the division, so she's going to win at least $50 regardless of what happens. Brendan still hasn't even won a division. So that leaves him as a one, like, there's a couple other people who have never won money in this league, but they are, I believe, Mo and Chris, who just joined the league recently. Brendan's been in the league. This is his 7th year.
Right.
If he wins this game, he's going to win money. Part of me is just like, it's kind of funny to see him not win money, just because it's like, it kind of makes me feel a little bit better about his lucky bullshit, because he's never been lucky enough to win any money. So,
Mike, I'm just curious. For all of the playoff appearances that I've had, am I the most negative in terms of earnings?
You are coming into this year. Coming into this year, I believe you had lost almost $200 on this league.
Over a 10-year, almost a 10-year stretch. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, the good news is, even win or lose, even if you lose this week, if you lose this week, you're coming out even.
All right.
With the division money. So
I get my beer money back. Okay.
You get your beer money back.
All right.
So James against Justine. I love this line, by the way. And this line, Doug Baldwin basically scored. He scored 14 last night, which is just one over his projection. So this line hasn't really changed. I love Justine is apparently favored by 0.7 of a point.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy
and it really
crap.
hasn't changed. As a reminder, just in case, ties are broken by bench points. So
Oof.
I don't know how that looks, but that's how we would break a potential tie. Now, looking at this matchup, a big reason Justine has so many projected points is Le'Veon Bell and his 26 projected points. Now, I would normally harp at that, but considering he scored 51,
yeah,
and the snow last week, I can't really.
Matter for me.
Yeah, you can't talk shit about that. If he's projected 27, he's gonna probably at least get 27.
Well, to be fair, Bell's been scoring ridiculous. Has been out of having a ridiculous second half of the year. I mean, he's been putting up big points on everybody. So I don't even know if it really matters. He's not going to score 51 again, but 26 isn't really out of the question.
No.
Yeah, just next year, Justine's going to propose a rule that you can carry over some players' points from a bye week to the next round of the playoffs or something. I'm sure that's what's going to result from this.
Well, la-di-da.
Yeah. I do now. I will say, Justine. I mean, her strength is running back. With that said, she has some tough matchups. Spencer Ware's matchup against Tennessee is very tough. He's been kind of hot and cold lately. Doug Martin does not have an easy matchup against Dallas, and he's been losing touches lately. So that on one side makes me nervous, and of course, Blake Bortles, because I don't know for the life of me. I'm going to keep complaining about this because I'm all right. So 3 of the starting quarterbacks in our fantasy playoffs: Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and then there's Justine with Blake Bortles.
Gotta love the fuckery of fantasy.
We've seen people win fantasy championships with Jake Delhomme and Brady Quinn and Chad Henne before. So,
This is true.
as a matter of fact, I believe Glenn won this in 2009. He won the championship game. He had Chan Henning, and I believe it was, oh my God, who did he play? Whoever he played had Peyton Manning. So it can happen. But I mean, James has really got the advantage at quarterback. He's really got the advantage at tight end, obviously, as well as the flex, in my opinion. I think it's really going to come down to, well, for one, a wide receiver, because that's very even, especially with Doug Baldwin meeting his projection. I think it'll be interesting to see if the going with Robbie Anderson, that pays off or not, James. That's an interesting move.
Well, I mean, Petty's been looking his way. Robbie Anderson's been looking all right. You know, it's the playoffs. You go big or go home.
Mm-hmm. It'll be. I'm also. It'll be interesting. This is definitely going to come down to Monday night because I believe Carolina Washington's the Monday night game.
That is true.
Both of it's going to be both of James's tight ends playing that night. So that will be pretty interesting. And we'll see what the Falcons defense can do. I mean, I don't expect them to score 36 again, but they are playing the 40. They're playing the 49ers.
They are
now. So that's always a good thing for them. I almost always go with whatever my computer projections say, and the projections. I'm going with Justine. I like her running backs. I've always subscribed to the theory that you need running backs to win in the playoffs, and it's interesting because the number 1 and the number 2 seed, Joe and Justine, they're loaded at running back, and then James and Brendan are the opposite in many cases, and that running back's probably their weakest position. So it's kind of a matchup between two contrary team builds, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think Justine's going to win. I wouldn't be shocked if Le'Veon Bell ends up carrying her. But, I mean, honestly, if one player has a big game, if Bell were to have another big game, that's all she may need. So I know everybody else is biased in this game.
No.
Desperately biased. Larry, you're very biased. Who said
I
no,
just
James?
love the glare Justine's giving him right now. I just love it. Love it.
You can feel free to speak freely.
You know that there's a gun behind Larry's back right now. You just know it.
You can say whatever you want, boo.
Yeah, with the gun in your face, boo.
Oh, this is totally the don't you dare ever, don't you dare pick against me.
So there's really two people picking this game right now, Mike.
Yeah, I know.
There's me and Justine.
Maybe we'll do it now while I've had a couple ciders. So if you're gonna pick against me, now is your opportunity.
I'm not gonna pick against you. I'm picking with you.
Why? Because you feel like
because Larry's at gunpoint. That's why.
His projection is way too high at 16. He's still hurt. That's way too high.
Whoa! He played last week, didn't he?
Whoa!
He had one catch, 10 yards.
Oh, really?
Okay. And might I remind you, the week before that, he got injured.
Yeah, and then he had a monster game, and then but then he was out the week before that, and then he played the.
He was not.
He was out the last week of our regular season when you lost to Rob, James.
Yeah, and now he's out. He was out the second half of the last game.
Okay. All right.
They did. Now, to be fair, they got an extra day of rest with the Monday night game.
Larry's right.
No. I don't like him. And then Cooks is a little too boomer bust. I don't think he's really done anything lately.
Not to mention if Patrick Peterson's on Sunday. That won't bode well.
That and putting my fantasy hopes on Robbie Anderson doesn't make me feel well. I don't even know who he is, and I'm a freaking Jets fan.
Robbie Anderson actually played pretty well against San Fran last week.
I didn't watch the game. I'd much rather watch the Seattle.
You know something? I actually did watch that game, and it was actually fairly entertaining.
I know, apparently it was, but I had
Yeah.
more faith in the Seahawks blowout being more entertaining than the Jets and 49ers.
I thought the game was actually fairly entertaining. I had no interest in watching the Packers wreck the Seahawks. But
I figured that the Seahawks would have pulled it together. I had more faith in them than in the crappy Jets game.
Well, the Jets, they were getting killed for the first 5 minutes, and then but
they fucked it up. Now we messed up our draft pick.
Yeah, they did. Now they have 4 wins. So
yeah.
I did want to ask you, James, though. You're sitting, I guess, Marvin Jones for Robbie Anderson?
Well, here's the thing. Right now, the running backs and wideouts, well, wouldn't say the running backs as much, but the wideouts, they're to be determined right now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
So
you do know the Jets game is actually Saturday night, right?
I am aware.
Okay.
And I have about 21 hours, 22 hours to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's going to be tough, and thank God I don't have to work or do anything tomorrow. I can sit on my couch, watch football, and think about it. But
are you just gonna be sitting on your couch contemplating which wide receiver you're gonna start?
Well, I got to grade a final exam, and I got track and field phases to write out, workouts to write up. But I'm gonna be giving it some thought, plain and simple. So the lineup that you see right now, yeah, it's there. But I'm just saying it could change between now and game time for the Jets in Miami.
Oh, shit.
All right. So, James, you don't think you're going to win this week, you mentioned.
I think I'm probably going to lose by 2 or 3 points. That's my honest opinion. However, for some reason, and don't ask me how or why I feel this way, but I have a true gut feeling. It's going to be Brendan and myself in the championship.
Is this just because you told him 3 weeks ago you hope you see him in the playoffs?
No, not entirely. But it's just like the way things are shaping up. It's kind of like,
I'm just saying, if you end up playing him, you're really going out on a limb. That's almost like you have to win.
No, I know.
Yeah. Justine, are you confident this week at all? Because apparently James is not.
No. I will say that I think whatever happens, it is going to be close.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say, given my track record, that my luck is probably going to run out. So that's my theory. But I don't know. If Le'Veon Bell decides to have another crazy ass 50-point week, then you never know. I don't know. I was just mad that happened last week and not this week.
Yeah, that's kind of a waste.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, it figures. That's when you decide to have the biggest game of your life.
For some of you, it was a waste. For
All right,
other people, it was
Mike,
what's up?
I'm being honest and wholehearted when I say this. And this is assuming Justine beats me, which I'm pretty sure she's got a really good shot of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
If I make it to the championship and Brendan does as well, I will not be on this chat next Friday night because I I have too much respect for the rest of the league, and I know Brendan's going to say what he wants to say and do what he wants to do. Myself, I'm not going to play along with that. I did that a couple of weeks ago. I regret it. And, we're going to see what happens in these last couple of weeks. The best woman or man will win.
So you're taking the high road. I mean, I will say this: if Brendan gets in the championship, I don't think there's any doubt he'll be on next week. And I'm sure he's going to have, if he's playing you, I'm sure he's going to have some interesting things to say.
Even if he's playing me, he'll have interesting things to say.
Well, yes, but for different reasons. It'll be different things. It'll be interesting things, but it'll be different things.
This is true.
Of course, I think, I
will say this: there's no freaking way that I can lose to Trump 3 times.
No, but I don't know. I will say this much: I find it kind of funny that he named his team after the guy that wasn't supposed to be elected president but won the presidential election, and now he's winning in fantasy.
Foreshadowing.
Hey, Justine. Wait, hold on. Before I mention this to Justine, Mike, who is New England playing week 16?
I actually have no idea. I'm sure you do though.
I don't. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I know it's not an easy matchup.
Let me see if I can get this.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up.
Oh no, Mike! Don't.
It's the Jets. Oh, it's the Jets.
Yeah. That does not bode well with me because I just feel like the Jets, even though they're in a pit of despair, they always have something to say to New England. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, they kind of do play New England well, regardless.
Yeah. So.
Honestly, if Joe just wins this week, it'll save everyone a lot of trouble. For next week.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because I don't think anybody would mind if Joe wins, but if Brendan wins, it's like, yeah.
Well, I think most of the North Division will have something to say about that, and a couple of people in the Central.
What's that?
About Brendan,
You know what? Yeah, Brendan. You know what? I didn't complain about him beating me last week, but at the same time, my team, with as banged up as it was, had no business winning any playoff games, unless I lucked my way through. So.
Well, it's unfortunate with Julio. I'm sorry about that.
Well,
he did have a hell of a fantasy season. It's just the whole turf toe thing. That kind of.
It wasn't even Matt. It wasn't even him though. I mean, I lost AJ Green. I lost CJ Anderson. I lost Gio Bernard. I mean,
it's hard to come back from that.
Oh, I know. So, in any case, I'm done crying about my fantasy season. So, I was gonna say, since we didn't do it last week, I was gonna let everybody make an early championship pick. Now, for the people that are still in, you're not allowed to pick yourself, just for fun. So that's for James and Justine. I know I posted this last week, but my early pick was Justine to win it all simply because of the running back situation. She is loaded up at running back, which actually brings me interesting question. I forgot to ask Justine this. No Jay Ajayi this week against the Jets?
I might. I haven't fully decided because aside from Baldwin last night, who I knew I wasn't swapping out anyway, I hadn't really made any hard decisions yet because everybody else was playing Sunday or Monday. So that might still be a thing. I still gotta.
Jay Ajayi is playing tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just mentioning
That's
because
gonna be
Miami.
while I'm standing around doing nothing in the middle of a snowstorm at work
Right.
tomorrow. That's when I'll be
Right.
dealing with my fantasy leagues.
Well, and that's the other reason why I brought it up too, is because the weather situation is not supposed to be good for that game next or tomorrow night. Probably similar type of conditions to what Bell had last week.
Yeah.
I imagine Miami is going to be running a lot, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, my pick for the whole thing was Justine, just because of the running back situation. Justine, if you can't pick who not including your team, do you have a pick for who you think might win the whole thing?
So I think out of the other three, again, I would love for it to be Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I feel like Brendan's stupid fucking luck is probably going to pull out the win. And then I'm going to be infuriated and just I'll quit life. Because life just won't make sense anymore.
I love how everybody now that everybody just is like, Brendan can't do this, and now everybody has this sickening feeling that, oh my God, Brendan's going to win the whole thing.
It was pretty much how election night went for me, so.
Well, it's the parallels are uncanny.
Yep, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm just going to relive that horror all over again.
Mm-hmm.
That's my pick.
Yeah. We don't need Trump already ruined election night, and now he's going to ruin Christmas apparently for everybody. So,
At least for me.
Larry, are you riding Brendan all the way?
No, wait, I don't get an exclusion, right? I can
No,
pick
you do not. You can pick Justine if you'd like.
Yeah, well, yes, my first pick is Justine, but if Justine were excluded, then I'd pick Brendan.
Are you just picking me just because, or?
Yes, he is.
50-50.
Come on, that's not even fun.
What do you mean it's not even fun?
Because you're just picking me just because you put a ring on it.
Well, no, I have a horse in that race. I want you to win.
You just want me to win, buddy.
Yes, that is true.
Justine, if you whatever money you win, you should not allow him to like spend or have a say in spending one penny of that.
Yeah, except you know where it's going? In our joint account.
Well, you don't have to do that.
I'll cry over my new video game. It's fine, pumpkin. So I picked Justine.
Are you sensing the love that we have in our
yes
here?
I love
and the gun behind Larry's head. Yes, it's magical.
I better damn well get the Sims.
You can get one of the stuff packs.
Woo!
Ooh.
Mike knows what we're talking about.
Yes, I do. James.
Brendan.
You're picking Brendan.
Sweet.
I'm picking Brendan.
Oh, I don't know if Brendan's going to feel good or bad about all this. But
and I kind of hope that he wins because I feel like Joe's team could actually beat Justine's team. I feel like Brendan's luck might run out soon.
We've been saying that since like week 4.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's got to happen sometime, possibly.
Exactly. You don't even sound confident in that anymore.
Well, I mean, it's
got to happen sometime.
Maybe.
I'd rather face Brendan's shitty ass team than Joe's like actually legitimate team.
Larry, I'm just saying, going back to your 2011 team, your lucky bullshit that never ran out at the end of that year.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, facts is I'd rather face Brendan's. If my team was still in it, I'd rather face Brendan's lucky bullshit team than Joe's legit team.
Mm.
At least Brendan's lucky bullshit has a chance of running out. Like,
well, and
but to be fair, Joe's team hasn't really it lost its hot streak. It hasn't
Yeah.
been playing as well as of late.
That's the thing that makes me nervous. Joe's team, I think, last week in the bye week scored like 78 points.
Well, I mean,
No, I
everyone-
think it was a little more than that, but point
83
taken, Mike.
points. Sorry, yeah, it wasn't good. He would have lost to anybody last week.
I mean,
basically.
everybody suffered last week, unless if you had Bell or like three other.
But Joe would have lost to any of the other playoff teams last week. Is my
Yeah.
point. So, that's not a good sign.
Which is what makes me nervous about that matchup this week.
Right.
Like, you know, based on what happened last week, he's
Justine,
he's got to bounce back pretty far.
Justine, can I step in and say something real quick?
Sure.
All right. Obviously, only one of us can go through, right? But let's make a pact. Whatever happens, whoever wins our game, we got to do the best we can against Brendan.
Cheers to that.
You know what? I'm undoing. Here we are. Can you see me?
No.
Yes.
Cheers.
Clink.
Oh,
So I'm just saying that's kind of a redundant pact, considering I wouldn't expect either of you guys to just be like, oh, roll over in a championship game and not like try.
Why do you have to ruin everything, Mike?
I'm sorry. It's silly.
Mike, I should be getting the Good Sportsmanship Award of the year right now.
Yeah, I know, but I think you kind of already ruined that when you like shouted and screamed at Brendan a few weeks ago.
No, listen, the things that he said did not sit well with me. I'm sorry.
Just upset that I missed it.
Oh, don't worry, we'll play it again.
You can go back and watch it. Yeah, you can go back. It's like the first
What
10
week
minutes
was
of week
that?
12.
You have
Week
to admit
12.
though, I had a couple of good comments to that. I did have a few good comments.
Honestly, I haven't come back and watched it, but I couldn't understand anything you guys were saying when you were yelling because you were just talking over each other.
Well, that's what happens when you have a stubborn Irishman and a stubborn Polak talking to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, no. These last 2 weeks are going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
It's an hour long.
Yeah, because the first like 15 minutes were James and Brendan just yelling over each other.
Oh,
So,
I hear me. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, and since we're all wrapped up, I'm just gonna end this.
The video. I'm watching it after we go offline.
Yeah, so I'm gonna close this out so you guys can watch the video. So, we'll be back again next Friday for the championship.
Good luck, Justine.
Episode.
Good luck, James.
Cheers.
Oh.